The most harmful guidance regarding fatty liver is echoed daily, silently driving your hepatic health toward further deterioration. Individuals are instructed to consume frequent small portions, shun fats, increase carb intake, and eat lots of fruit. Swap meals for juices and trust that pills will solve the entire issue. Actually, these suggestions maintain high insulin levels throughout the day, strain the organ, and speed up lipid storage. Should you be battling fatty liver, you must quit adhering to traditional tips and learn the actual biological processes. A very frequent piece of counsel is to graze constantly to ensure steady glucose and prevent any feelings of hunger. This seems logical, yet from a physiological standpoint, it ranks among the quickest methods to exacerbate a fatty liver. Each time food is consumed, regardless of the portion size, the system is required to secrete insulin for glucose regulation. If you snack all day long, your insulin concentrations are never permitted to drop back down to their resting levels. Persistent high insulin prevents the breakdown of stored lipids while instructing the anatomy to accumulate more fat. An organ already burdened by excess lipids is pressured to pack in even more, granting it zero time to perform self-cleansing. The liver requires rest periods to metabolize fat, but a heavy eating routine eliminates this vital window for recovery. Following the many meals doctrine, many sufferers are coached to have exactly 5 daily servings to prevent overeating. This strategy might function for healthy people, but it is counterproductive for those suffering from insulin resistance. When resistance develops, the body is compelled to manufacture even higher amounts of the hormone to achieve an identical result. Consequently, the more frequently you ingest food, the higher insulin remains, and the further the metabolic decline continues. Once patients adopted intermittent fasting and lowered carb intake, their appetite subsided and health indicators started trending upward. This change isn't merely about eating less, it provided the biological environment the liver needs for fat processing. Another widespread fallacy is the assumption that non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, is just a less severe version of alcoholic liver damage. NAFLD stems primarily from excessive fructose and insulin, whereas the alcoholic variety is the direct consequence of ethanol. The liver does not evaluate sugar or spirits through any kind of moral lens. Both are metabolized almost exclusively within this single organ. While alcohol was previously the primary offender, today sugar, specifically fructose, has successfully stepped in to take that dominant role. Many individuals assume that only spirits harm the liver, while sodas, fruit drinks, and sweeteners are safe since they are natural. Fructose travels directly to the liver because very few other bodily tissues possess the ability to assist in its processing. Consider an organ weighing less than 2 kilograms mandated to handle sugar amounts meant for the entire human frame. Once fructose levels become excessive, the liver is left with no alternative but to transform it into fat for temporary storage. Insulin functions as a gatekeeper that perpetually orders fat to be kept and strictly forbids its release for energy use. The fat trapped inside the liver does not originate mainly from dietary fats. It comes from carbs being converted into lipids. When you decrease fat but increase carbohydrate intake, you are removing a harmless element while adding the most toxic component. Another pretender appears in the form of vegetable oils, which are often marketed with a deceptively healthy reputation. Most of these products contain extremely high omega-6 ratios, fostering a pro-inflammatory state in the body. The industrial refining process involves intense heat, high pressure, and the use of various chemical extraction solvents. These oils become rancid, and once ingested, they turn into a heavy burden for the liver. Then comes the trend of low-calorie and sugar-free products, which provide consumers with a very dangerous and false sense of safety. Sugar is subtracted but substituted with synthetic sweeteners, and fat is removed only to be replaced by starches and additives. Focusing on calories oversimplifies a very intricate biological puzzle and conceals the actual root cause of the metabolic problem. Juicing or blending removes most of the fiber, making the sugar highly concentrated and hit the bloodstream very rapidly. The liver cannot tell the difference between sugar from a mango and sugar from corn syrup. It only sees fructose molecules. When you drink your fruit, you overwhelm the liver with a massive sugar load instantly. Statins inhibit the pathway for cholesterol production but also lower CoQ10 levels, which are essential for creating energy in cells. The liver needs energy to repair itself. When that supply is cut, recovery becomes much harder. What is the recurring theme among all these flawed suggestions? They address the external signs while ignoring the internal cause. The liver is not inherently weak, it is simply overwhelmed by incorrect information and the wrong daily lifestyle habits. There is no single superfood or pill that can purge the liver if your lifestyle continues to provide sugar and insulin. Lowering eating frequency, managing carb intake, and avoiding industrial seed oils are the real solutions. If you find it hard to choose among conflicting ideas, look at the biological mechanisms rather than the flashy marketing slogans. The liver doesn't require any miracles, it just needs you to stop making its daily job more difficult than necessary. You are not a helpless victim, but rather a champion of health who chooses to learn, understand, and take full responsibility. Let us create a community that sees the truth clearly and takes the correct actions to support our internal organs. And if you wish to see more content that can transform your health, follow along and keep your notifications turned on.